Senator Sheehy.
Thanks for being here, everyone. We all are focused on the airlines generally, ATC slowdowns and airline delays and how that derives, economically from that. But I think another piece of these, the manning shortage that came from the shutdown, but also are impacted writ large, is our FAA oversight PMOs, DPEs, folks who work within the FAA structure that allow small operators like 135 operators, 137, 133, the folks who are doing organ transportation, who are doing air ambulance, medical evacuation, who are crop dusting, who are doing aviation maintenance in a Part 145 repair station. They require access to their FAA oversight bodies and their local FSDOs and ACOs to continue operating for pilot checks, for periodic maintenance inspections. And when that oversight is not available, either those companies are operating under an extended period of a waiver, or they're just not getting the oversight and safety inspection that is required by law. So I'd be curious as your thoughts on that and what you're hearing from operators, either as manufacturers, Mr. Viola, or smaller 135, 137 operators in the field.
Well, thank you for that question. I'll take the first run at it. Well, certainly the oversight of the designated pilot examiners as well as the DARs out there that are trying to get new certification, or STCs out there, delayed some of that getting to the field. And then, with the FSDOs having to, try to figure out what it was it can do, what it was that was important to get back from the leadership, and getting that out to employee has been difficult. The challenges of the workforce, it fits back into the workforce of the FAA, and not having that stable funding and not having to know, what is going on with the training in other areas. So that's why we certainly support any action that will pay the FAA during any of these government shutdowns, so that we can keep that oversight going, so we can keep the momentum going. And as was mentioned, the modernization that we're trying to do with $12.5 billion now, we still look forward to trying to get that whole system in place with the additional $30 billion, so that everything that we do here in the United States can operate more effectively and efficiently for the taxpayers.
No, the only thing I would add is, when we were talking about the aspects of what happened during the shutdown, when we talk about whether it's the cancellations or the delays, to your point, I think very importantly, the new way of healthcare in this country is everything from using broadband and telehealth to getting your pharmaceuticals shipped to you, to getting your home health care, your home dialysis, whatever it might be. So when we see pullback, that happens to our cargo carriers that we represent, the FedExes, the UPSs, the Atlas. That means that those delays happen. And as a lot of folks know, just a day or two delay on things that have to be overnighted for healthcare in the home, it's not just out of the hospital anymore. When these things have huge effects on how healthcare is delivered nowadays, and just an important aspect that it wasn't just the passengers that were affected, the carriers, they're delivering organs, delivering people to vital healthcare, to hospital to hospital, but also that everyday use. The FedEx, UPS, they all had to pull back to those same levels, and it hurt. It caused a lot of delays everywhere.
Well, there's already been a challenged infrastructure with regard to the aviation employment sphere. I mean, we can't get enough pilots, mechanics, controllers. This is pre-shutdown. This has nothing to do with shutdown. We've already had a challenge in making sure we have appropriate manning, both in the FAA as an agency, but also across the board in the private industry. And then when something like this happens and kind of throwing fuel on the fire, especially in rural areas with essential air service access, and where we have towers that are at half manning across a lot of the Mountain West as those towns are growing so fast and air travel is growing there. So thank you for your comments. I appreciate your time today. Thank you, Mr. Chair.